peed 24 hours ago and decided you want to come in and get a crazy workout. Why not?
Yeah. Exactly.
3 weeks off for one more show. Last show. Head over the bank, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna vlog this. Hopefully you can hear me, but I am. So he just competed yesterday at the IP Pro World Men's Classic Physique. Quick pointer before we leave, before we get started. When you compete for a show, make sure you look up the posing criteria and ask again. What happened yesterday? Let's just say one, the organization IB dropped the ball just because the poses that were calling were not stated on the website. But if you want to see all the posing routine, you have to go down to his channel. I'm just going to post it right up there. And again, I think it's a learning experience for anybody that's trying to compete in those organizations, so you get to know before you get there. But anyways, I'm sure it's going to unpack the whole show tomorrow or whenever he decides to drop that. But today we are going to get a trainer. It's going to be him and his lovely wife. So I'm not trying to kill him, of course. I'm just trying to fine-tune certain things. This whole, obviously, besides seeing these beautiful people, is trying to fine-tune certain things. Obviously, I mean, he's got another show coming up in 3 weeks, and fine-tune certain movements. Are you going to make any sort of crazy improvement in the next 3 weeks? Probably not. But you're trying to look forward for the future. Like, right now, when you're not going to be able to like load a fuck ton of, weight on the bar, on the bar or whatever machine is. It's time to, it's almost like a first week of like a training block, acclimation period. You're trying to fine tune certain things. So right now I'm trying to, have like an external eye, look at certain things. So one thing that we're working on right now, we already worked on squats, quads, we're already working on hamstrings. And if you've seen some of the videos that I posted before talking about cues for hamstrings. So the cue that we're working on now is for him to have almost want to do internal rotation of the hips right there, and before that mental cue, then you squeeze. If only you guys heard him for the first rep, it was like, oh shit, that feels different. There you go. So what you want to try to avoid is you want to make sure this doesn't rise too much. This one stays connected to the pad as much as possible. Good. Give him a break, guys. Just competed yesterday. There you go. Awesome. So it's it's a short video. I'm going to screen it out. It's a short video. I guess the point really is I'm gonna have his point of view on competing, how the experience is. I think it's a lot of times it's actually awesome to hear, like, what do you do when you lose a show? Like, how do you process it? Me personally, of course, I've lost shows before. I've won some, a lot, okay. You're laughing. And anytime I lose a show, I'm always looking like intrinsically, like, okay, what could I have done better to improve myself before I start looking externally. I think it's a good way to look at life in general, because it prevents you from woe is me mentality. Goals and by default you kind of just put yourself in a position to have more control because you feel like I can control this. Like, this is my sort of this is my destiny. These are my actions. So, and not putting the blame on somebody else. But unfortunately, in this case, he did not do so well because IP dropped the ball. I'm just gonna say it out though. They dropped the ball because certain poses in classic physique, if you want to compete in IP, besides typical front double buys, quarter turn side chest, back double buy, they had some funny shit in there, like an archer's pose, Frank Zane winning pose. What the fuck is that? But when you look at that, you're like, what? We'll do better, right? But just want to get his point of view.
Well, I feel like Overall, it was a really good experience. Obviously, competing in Worlds for the first time, but I think one of the main takeaways is that you really have to know, like, you have to see more than one competition. You can't just reference a website. You can't just think that, you know, just because you turn pro, you show up, and because of the posts that they asked for initially, that, you know, you'll do well. I think it takes a little bit of mental fortitude as well, and it also, to be honest, it made me really want to switch to just straight up bodybuilding, just because we know what we're looking for, and overall, though I might not be the ultimate size I probably should be to, like, you know, maybe win Worlds, IP, or any other national organization, it just more so showed me, like, at least I have a goal to now shoot towards more so. So I guess that's how I ultimately feel about it. I don't feel jaded at all, but just, I know.
At first you will.
Yeah.
But, you know, you take some time to think about it. Like, you know what? I'm okay with certain things.
Yeah.
Me?
Are you still processing?
On him or on me?
On you.
On me? I mean, I feel like
I'm gonna give her a lot of credit real quick. This is the first year competing. The first show she did was an NPC show, and she fucking slayed it. And if you told me that was the first time competing, I would be like, bullshit. Just because she carried herself well, she posed well, obviously, which is needed when you compete as a bikini competitor, or more figure bikini, stuff like that, compared to like bodybuilding, which is like nobody cares about your presentation. They do, but it's more like, okay, you fit the criteria and that's it. But bikini, figure sometimes, I mean, it's a lot they look at just to put you in that sort of winning circle, and she did an awesome job. I just want to give her awesome credit for that. But that's about me. What about you?
I guess I feel like, in my opinion, because, you know, this season we did 3 completely different organizations, and I feel like it seems like every organization is very, very different. Just like, you know, Sam was talking about, you know, what they're looking for. They look at all these different things, and I personally feel like, in my experience in the WWF and the IPE, I'm not really sure what they were looking for. I feel like in the NPC, I did also hire opposing coach. She's been to the Olympia, things like that. And so I feel like she allowed me better insight as to what we were actually looking for, just strictly with posing and presentation. She helped me pick out my suit, everything like that. Both W and BF and IB, I feel like we're still not even sure what they're looking for, what the criteria is, because I don't feel like it was maybe necessarily the leanest girl, the most muscular, presentation. It was very all over the place. So yeah, that's probably my takeaway. Maybe just doing some more education on what they're looking for, what their expectations are, so then we can come back stronger. As a first-time competitor, like, any advice that you would give to, like, somebody who's competing the first time, like, could be coaching, could be mentality, could be whatever. Yeah, be confident for sure, because if you go out there and you're so nervous and all these different things, it's going to show tenfold. So be confident, practice, because even if you're not the leanest girl out there, if you are confident and you radiate beyond belief, like my first show, I mean, we did pretty well, but was I as lean as I could have been? Absolutely not. But I killed it on stage, I was confident, things like that. So be confident, trust your coach, trust the process. Because, you know, if you just kind of put it in their hands and you just, you know, put your head down and grind, that's all you need to do.
And you, sir?
First time competing?
I mean, it's not your first time competing. I mean, for somebody who's competed before or this year, any takeaway or anything, any sort of point that you would give to somebody that's competing or thinking about competing for the first time?
Yeah, same, very similar. Confidence and mental dexterity. Just be prepared for the unknown. And if you're not prepared for the unknown, or what's the saying? Prepare to fail, or not prepare to fail.
Failure to plan
is yeah, exactly.
Or vice versa.
Exactly. So yeah, just know what you're getting into and be okay with there being a twist, and, you know, just have that mental fortitude to be able to push further. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
So what my point would be really is, if it's your first time competing, I think, again, because COVID and whatever like hit this year, I think next year is going to be a lot of shows, a lot of competitors. Fingers crossed, hopefully things are kind of just, you know, go back to normal if we were still alive next year. And if that's your goal, if that's what you want to do, this is the time. It's October now. This is time to start researching coaches. We're just talking about like some shitty fucking coaches out there that just. I might do another video just to cover the, things to look for when you're hiring a coach and things to avoid when you're hiring a coach, because there's a lot of people that will take your fucking money and just give you the copy and paste approach, and you are under the pretense, oh, I'm working hard, when that's not the way you should be done. Yes, you're gonna work hard, but scientifically driven. It's got logic. But before that video, I'll tell you something now. If you hire a coach and you asking them why are you doing X, Y, and Z, and their answer is, trust me, it just works. That is your cue to run. There is a reason, there's a logic to why you're doing things. Ask questions. Be inquisitive, because it's an opportunity for you to learn new things. It's an opportunity for your coach to even learn about you. If you don't ask questions, your coach is just going to assume. So that communication and feedback is very important. But yeah, huge shout out to the folks. Drove all the way from Liberty, Missouri, just stopping, at Fit City, train, work out, hang out. So yeah, she's done for the year, and we got one more. And yeah,
I'm dying.
It's gonna be the best one so far. This show, I'll put pictures of him on the screen somewhere, or in this vlog so you guys can see. This show so far, this last show, I think is the best condition so far, which makes sense too, because we hit like new lows like day before the show, and we did not cut any water. Can you vouch for that? We did not cut any water. We did not cut sodium. We actually drank more water. We add more sodium, just because you don't do that. And speaking of shitty coaches again, there was a coach that I was talking about yesterday. That was a client that hasn't drank water in 3 days because he had to dry out. Anyways, that's all I got. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit, and I'll put a link of their channel in the description also. Follow their journey. They put in a lot of good content for you guys to learn from. The bullshit, channel away, learn some new shit, add some tools to your belt. So I'll definitely put the link in the description. And until next time, peace.